Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7. Live on hot7025fm.com.
This is DJ Mr. West with Hot 702.5 FM. Las Vegas entrepreneurs, it's time to reset, recharge, and realign. Be part of the Entrepreneur Reset, a one-day experience on Sunday, November 16th in Las Vegas. This full-day, hands-on event will help you reflect, refocus, and realign your business and mindset for the year ahead. Space is limited. Visit entrepreneurreset.net and use code HOT7025FM for 20% off tickets. See you there.
Yo, it's Tavon Greatness Patterson. Want to listen to Hot 702.5 on the go? Download the Hot 702.5 app on the Apple Store or Google Play Store if you got an Android like me.
Let's get it.
It's your main man 360 the Poet from the Morning Wood. And are you looking for the perfect drink? Well, you found it. Mimosa Royale is the perfect combination of California sparkling white wine and natural juice that is both tasty and refreshing. No artificial colors or flavors, no sugar added, and it's gluten-free. As the world's first ready-to-drink mimosa, Mimosa Royale is perfect for any occasion, day or night. You no longer have to drink 12 of those seltzers just to get that perfect buzz. At 8% alcohol, Mimosa Royale is the perfect drink to party with. Offered in a variety of flavors and sizes, you are bound to find a Mimosa Royale that you'll love. We have berry, mango, apple, and orange, with more flavors to come. Mimosa Royale is the most award-winning flavored wine that serves in bottles or cans. You can find them online at drinkmimosa.com or find them at your local liquor store. Ask for it by name. Mimosa Royale.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Cheryl Underwood, and you're tuned into the hottest news station on the planet, Hot 702.5.
Tune in now on hot7025fm.com. All right. You guys are tuned in to Hotlyte right here on hot7025fm.com. I am Carrice, and listen, we have another Hotlyte, and this was pretty special. So we got some things that are coming up very soon that all of you entrepreneurs need to be part of, okay? You're going to have to spend some coins. It's going to be very important for you to invest in yourself. And without further ado, we may as well go ahead and get right into it, because I have a couple of folks with me that are going to talk about this, and we're going to talk about the Entrepreneur Reset. We got SHAWNTA Jackson and we got Walter Williams in the building. How y'all feel?
Yes.
Feeling good.
Yeah, feeling good. Good. You're looking good too. So that's a plus.
Well, thank you. So do you.
I appreciate that. Listen, I heard you have an Entrepreneur Reset that's coming to Las Vegas. First of all, how did you two link up? Because you live in two completely different places. How did this come about? Either of you can go ahead and tap in and get to it.
Yeah, definitely. So that good old LinkedIn networking. We've been connected, I want to say maybe 10 years now. And we had the opportunity to partner on some contracts last year. And then we decided from there to become accountability partners, or vice versa. The accountability was first, then the partnership. And that's basically how it happened. Just LinkedIn, just the networking.
Right. And I think that's important because I'll link up with people that I met, back when I worked for the man, right? Back in those days. And now they're entrepreneurs as well. So it's good to kind of keep those connections. And then too, you can kind of check in with each other and hold each other accountable, to certain tasks. So, Walter, what do you do? What's your background?
Yeah. So I'm a mental health therapist. So I run a private practice called Think and Grow, where I'm based in Wisconsin and Alabama, but I live in Arizona, so I'm a little all over the place. So finding my way to support people in their mental health needs. I also do some life coaching. So sometimes therapy may not be what folks need. Sometimes folks just need a little
Everyone needs
support.
therapy.
Yes. I agree with that. I agree
They
with that.
do.
But coaching becomes another form to
Mhm.
being that I have the therapeutic background. Coaching becomes another therapeutic experience that I'm able to provide to clients, where we can touch base at some soft spots, but also be strategic and intentional about the goals that one is trying to accomplish. But
Absolutely.
that's a little bit about what I do.
Got it. And Shanta, tell the people, I know we have probably visited this in the past, but tell people what you do and how you stay connected to, certain organizations and communities and things like that.
And so to sum it up, I have a consulting firm. It's a national consulting firm. We work with nonprofits, government agencies, and businesses to strategize, to engage with their stakeholders. It can be employees, it could be community, and to help them to implement whatever programs or initiatives that they want. And usually it's social impact, socially conscious initiatives, but a lot of strategy and engagement.
Nice. I think one thing becoming an entrepreneur, you don't realize how much you have to plan, how many strategies you have to put in place. And I think that it's a lot of things that you learn along the way. And I think, Shanta, you've been an entrepreneur for quite some time now.
Yes. So my business, Cause Engagement Associates, 10 years now. We're celebrating our 10-year anniversary.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
2015.
Nice.
Before that, kind of different things, as an entrepreneur, you try different things. I was at one point a real estate agent, a loan officer. The same company I have now, I started in Nevada, didn't do really well until I relocated to Maryland, and I relaunched it as a different brand, but the same business. And so I tried a few different things, and I'm still always experimenting, and I'm always open.
Right. And with that being said, you kind of saying that you tried different things. Was there one thing when you first started, whether it be a conference or whether it be like a meeting that you went to, or a link up or a LinkedIn event or something like that you went to and you're like, you know what, I really needed that to kind of like reset my energy, or even a conversation you may have had with someone?
Yes, definitely. A lot of different scenarios, but the one that I can think of off top, last year I attended this conference in Atlanta. It's called the National Minority Supplier Diversity Conference, and it's for MBE, minority business enterprise businesses. And just to see other small business owners, large business owners across the country, people of color that look like me, and having those conversations and being in those spaces and listening to those panel discussions and seeing what is possible, seeing people receive an award for reaching 100 million in profit, for seeing people just achieve things that it's like, oh, it's possible. That's
Right.
something I can strive for. So that's the example that I can think of.
Right. Walter, what about you?
Yeah, really good question, actually. Earlier this year, I had that experience where I was just feeling overwhelmed. It was about March, so in Q1, getting the year started, I'm like, what in the world I'm about to do? I was really thinking about retiring from my clinical practice, and I was just trying to figure out what was next, and the pressure of trying to figure out what was next. The answers weren't coming, so I took a staycation in Sedona, which is about 2 hours away from where I live, just to be about myself, so disconnect from everything and everybody, and just have that moment to get some clarity in my thoughts. And while away, was able to do some hiking, get a massage, do some journaling, do some planning, and really just came back refreshed and recharged. And here I am, November, just now coming down from that high I had coming off that mini sabbatical, that mini retreat I did. So I'm just being able to recognize when my body was in distress, and as we were talking about before the show, just the overwhelming the mind, just to quiet that and to make sure I'm in tune with where I'm trying to go. So I just had
Right.
that experience early this year where I had to reset and refocus and realign, and here we are doing it again.
Right, right. So
Yeah.
tell me this: how? We've talked about you having an entrepreneur reset that's here. It's going to be here in Las Vegas. What is that?
Yeah, so it's an opportunity where entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs, or if you're not, if you're just a everyday working person who wants to come in and one realign with your purpose. I do think as we are considering business and personal matters, there's a lot of alignment and a lot of overlap because how we show up in our personal life can determine how we show up in our business life and our professional life. So being able to take a step back and realign with purpose, address any fears and doubts that one may have. Leadership is lonely. Entrepreneurship can be scary, and it's not for the faint of heart. And sometimes when we're doing the work, in the work, sometimes we don't have enough time to work on the work. So it's an opportunity where folks can come in and deal with some emotional wellness side, and then develop a growth mindset, a growth roadmap, I should say, where you get a chance to dive into the business, whether it's personal or professional, reconnecting with your values, realigning with your purpose, and then just having a roadmap. So when you leave, folks can have a game plan to say, hey, here's what I'm gonna focus on going into the new year, or right away, because I don't believe that you have to wait till the new year to start. My hope is that when folks leave, they'll be ready to hit the ground running.
Right. Absolutely. So I saw some kind of, back end information on what this is going to be like. But what if I'm I'm an entrepreneur, what is my day going to look like? And am I going to be sleepy? Like, I want to, like, these are some real questions, because when I think of going to like a conference or something, I'm thinking like, okay, who's going to bring the energy? Is it going to be me, or is it going to be whomever is going to facilitate, this conference? So what does that look like from start to end? How am I getting a reset?
Yeah, so definitely we're bringing the energy. First part of the day, we're having a light breakfast and we're networking. That's included in your ticket price. And so in the AM, it's more about personal growth. As Walter mentioned, there's this framework called the 8 Dimensions of Wellness. And it says that we have all these different areas in our lives. And so we have occupational wellness, we have physical wellness, intellectual, emotional, and sometimes we do really well in one area or in some, and we need some areas of improvement. So we do some self assessment and some dialogue there. But then also we talk about fear, self-doubt. We have a values clarification activity. And that's the first part of the day. And so I think that's the invite where Walter was saying, if you're not an entrepreneur, that's a good part, for you, or if you're a leader in your space or a nonprofit founder, that would be great for the AM. But for the after the AM, we have lunch together. And for those who are staying for the entire day, that's when we get down to business. That's when we're looking at our strengths. We're looking at opportunities to grow. We have some assessment about our businesses, and we're actually in those different areas of our business, such as operations, marketing, sales, technology, your staffing. We're actually setting goals for 2026. So by the time you leave for the day, you'll actually have a tangible business plan. And Walter and I, we both have different expertise that we bring to the table. And my area of expertise, or I would say my strength, is the strategy part. And so that's the majority of the session that I'll lead and work on with the attendees there. And so, but it doesn't stop there. It's definitely not a panel discussion. We're not talking at you. We have various group discussions. We have hot seats. And then we're even, for the entrepreneurs in the room, before we leave, we'll talk about collaboration opportunities. And then also anyone who may offer a product or service that anyone in the room could use. That's an opportunity for us to kind of make those offers as well. And then even after that, it doesn't stop. We'll have monthly group accountability calls. Just to keep us accountable. And then we'll meet again in 6 months to a meet up and to reset again.
Got it. Well, that sounds like a good opportunity. So let's just say I was a barber. and what would be the benefits that I would take away from the Entrepreneur Reset?
Okay, so first of all, it's on a Sunday, and it was actually planned for barbers and stylists and just anyone in that industry. That's why we chose to do it on a Sunday. And so as a barber, it all depends on what your personal goals are. There are some people that may have one chair and they may want to scale to a full-size barbershop, or maybe they want to open a second location, and maybe that second location is within the city of Las Vegas, or maybe it's outside of the county, or maybe it's in another place in Nevada, or maybe it's outside, or maybe they want to position the business to their goal is to grow it, to get it stable so that they can step away as an operator and serve as an owner only. And so that's something that we can strategize about. Or maybe their goal is to grow the business and to sustain it so that way they can sell it. Whatever those individual goals are. But then again, it's all about, so as we mentioned in the AM, it's all about your why, your values, what you want out of life, all those different areas. How is as a barber, how are you bringing all of those other areas in your life into the shop? And then also, how is the shop showing up in your home, right? So it all depends on that individual. And we set from there and we kind of go. And Walter, I'll step back if you want to add anything.
Yeah, no, I think you hit it on the head. My mind immediately goes to how, as a barber, how am I showing up for my clients? Am I bringing in energy from the outside world that's impacting my clients? But I also think about, the fact that it's such a vulnerable position to have someone standing over your head, being that our heads are the peg of knowledge. So, how are you imparting knowledge, wisdom, asking questions, and supporting the client that's in your chair? Because as a, providing that service, you're in a position of authority where you get a chance to influence and depart knowledge and invite them to consider different things. So I'm often interested in, what are you bringing to the table when you show up to the shop, and how are you making sure that you're living by your values and that's showing up in the work that you're doing?
Got it. So how does one register for the Entrepreneur Reset?
Yeah, they can go right to the website, theentrepreneureset.net, I believe was what we have it, right, Shanta? Entrepreneurreset.net. Feel free to go to the website, sign up, register. We would love to have you join us on Sunday, November 16th. I think it'd be a lot of fun. And we're two people that are very interactive and hands-on. So we're going to journey along, and we too plan to sit in the seat and show that we're not excluded from the process, so that we can be in this together.
Got it. So Did you guys plan a reset on your own? I know you did a reset, you said in March, Walter. Shanta, when's the last time you did a reset for yourself, and not necessarily for business, just to kind of reset your own energy?
Oh no, it's time. It's so
Yeah.
it's time. It's time now. Like I'm at the edge, honestly. And so Walter and I, we were speaking yesterday and planning the activities. We're actually planning these activities for ourselves as well, and for our own businesses. And so the Entrepreneur Reset is on Sunday, November 16th. But a few days before, we're actually planning our own reset and our own retreat, and we'll be planning then. But we've kind of started we've been kind of contemplating the end of the year and the beginning of the year, but just personally on the personal growth side, on the self-care side, and me kind of stepping back, that's starting now. It's time.
Yeah, I think that it's just like you get to the point you're like, okay, like, whether you feel overwhelmed or whether you're having restless nights or you're thinking about all of these things that you need to complete the next day, or you have all of these tasks that, you've lined up, you have to meet with these people, whatever it may be, sometimes you have to just set yourself free of it. And we were talking about this before we actually went on, is that like, I noticed when that started happening with me. So I changed my whole schedule. I made myself have a 3.5 work week because it was starting to get a little bit too overwhelming. And then, I think that people are kind of reworking a work week is like anyway. A lot of companies are going to 4-day work weeks. I'm here for the 3.5-day work week, even for like staff and stuff like that, because I think that, like, it's important to take care of your family, because if you cannot do what you need to do at home, you cannot be relaxed at home. You cannot, give your full attention to whomever lives in the house with you. It could cause, other issues that, run into your work day. So it all kind of runs together. So I think a good reset for an entrepreneur, someone who's seeking to be an entrepreneur, someone who is in leadership, as you mentioned earlier, it sounds like it would be a good time to kind of, go meet some new people, learn some new things, allow yourself the opportunity to just be open to, receive information. I think that's the part that's very important, is being open to receiving the information and then processing it as necessary. So, and then too, you guys are going to hold them accountable, it looks like, afterwards. So you're going to check in with them.
Yeah, that's the idea. They say if you want to go far, go alone. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So SHAWNTA and I think we've been able to find some great alignment in our accountability with each other, checking each other's blind spots. And we began to realize how beneficial it was. And then we was like, let's invite people to be a part of this journey too. Our intention is to set up some spaces where we can all be accountable and grow together, learn together. And get to this bag together, because it's a lot to get to out here.
It is, and it's been a challenging year.
It has
been a lot going on. I often talk about things about politics, and that kind of runs into finance, and that kind of runs into understanding that sometimes you have to pivot when it comes to business, because you don't know what the heck is going to happen the next day. So I think that it's good to be able to have the tools, the training, the resources in order to make yourself successful. So where is this going to be?
Courtyard by Marriott, Las Vegas Stadium area, so across from Allegiant Stadium.
Nice. Actually, I DJ'd an event there not long ago. We did a couple of things for Courtyard Marriott, so that's good stuff. They have a bar there too, by the way.
Yes. So we can hang out after for happy hour, and we'll have lunch in the lobby area as well, just so we won't be stuck in a room all day. So we definitely have that professional setting. And I just wanted to piggyback off of something you mentioned about pivoting. And I think that's one of the good things about being in the room with like-minded people, because we all have different perspectives, and that's one of the things that we're actually going to do. And so individually, you'll set your goals for your business in certain areas, or we'll have an activity. It's called SOAR. So SOAR is like, instead of focusing on like your SWOT analysis focuses a lot on like your weaknesses, threats, competition, and then SOAR is more so it's your strengths, opportunities, aspirations, and the results that you want to achieve. But even in that, with Walter and I, we're going by and we're working with you, but we'll even kind of share in the group, however you feel comfortable sharing. But there's an exercise activity where you actually document, like, what did other people mention that I didn't see in myself as it relates to my strengths or those opportunities that I'm looking for. Mm-hmm. So, and the pivoting is, I think that's that brainstorming is kind of like that discussion where what's happening, what are the opportunities, are they within your city, within the state, within the country? Are there any international, global opportunities for your business? Being flexible, supply and demand, what's being, what's trending, what's coming. I know a lot of folks, for example, are like, AI is popular right now, but then I'm in the space now where it's quantum information science. And so that's the next big research development discovery wave. And so discussing those opportunities and identifying them early so that you can kind of pivot in those spaces.
Mm-hmm. So I do have a question for you, and I'm not sure if you've thought this through or, kind of understand how different age groups kind of work. So I came from corporate America, I was a marketing executive for Fortune 100 companies. Our dialogue was a certain way. We had this corporate lingo. You have these words that you use in corporate America, which everybody else who works in corporate America understands what that looks like. I decided I wanted to, open a radio station, and then I have all these Gen Zers who are a part of the staff, and the way that they communicate is very different than what I was used to how I was used to communicating in corporate America. And so it was very much a learning experience for me, and it was so much so where I had to we'll have meetups, okay, because we can't call it a meeting. That's too formal, okay? And when you schedule the meeting, you need to use emojis, okay? And this is real life. I'm not playing, okay? So I'm having these conversations with these Gen Zers, and everything's too formal. Right. So, and the way that they communicate, their dialogue is very different than what we would be used to in strict, formal corporate America. So you may have some people who come to this that are Gen Zers or late millennials who don't understand whether you're using an acronym to say, to explain, a process, right? They don't know. They just went to high school, and let's say they went to barber school. There's no corporate connection when it comes to like understanding certain things that we would understand. So how do you plan to kind of get with them, communicate with these younger folks? Okay, who when I tell you, it is a very different way to communicate. And sitting down and having a conversation with these Gen Z, I'm like, hey, what's the best way for me to communicate with you so that you don't think that I'm upset, or I can't send them an email. Like it's not like us communicating with one another. So how do you plan to kind of deliver that and kind of be in a situation with these Gen Zers or late millennials and help them understand what you're explaining?
I think that our language and our intent and our actions are universal, and just as a best practice, you just meet people where they're at. We speak plain language. So for example, when I was talking to you about SOAR, I said strengths, opportunities, aspirations, results. And so I'm very aware that not everyone knows different lingo. I actually don't consider myself to be corporate, and when I'm in those spaces, like when I'm in the meetings with people, they're like SME. I'm like, SME, subject matter expert. Oh, okay, like I have to ask.
Right, which that isn't something that I've had to use in many years, so it's not something that I would have to communicate in that way. So yeah, I mean, obviously, you assign people as a subject matter expert, whether it has to do with, whatever the task is you all need to complete. We know what that means. So I just wanted to make sure that when people go to this, they're going to be able to understand, like, okay, like,
yeah, we break it down. No, we break it down. We actually have a workbook and we have worksheets, and we understand that some folks are visual learners, so we'll make sure we have visuals in the handout. And then we also we have a Gen Zer who's going to be there talking about marketing and branding. And so he started off with a camera from a pawn shop, and now he goes around the country as a photographer for professional conferences and a lot of the larger brands such as Dickies. And he's about 22, 21 years old, I think. And so he'll be here to focus on the marketing and branding aspect.
Good. I wanted to make sure that people aren't afraid to book this, because I think that sometimes you hear about a conference and you're like if you don't know, or you're not open enough to just say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and do it, then you get a little afraid and you're like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to take anything from this. So I think it was important for me to help everyone understand that yes, you're going to meet them where they are. Yes, you'll be able to understand whatever it is that they're going to be discussing throughout the day, and then too, you can take away some things that maybe you didn't know before, and maybe take away some dialogue, because I think it's very important to incorporate corporate lingo. Yes, I think it's important somehow. Right, because I think that they're going to run into you're going to run into someone where you're going to have to understand some things that maybe you weren't, trained on in school or whatever that may have been, or regular conversations at home. So those of you who are out there, yes, you can go to this. You can learn more information. They're going to be able to relate to you. Tell me where they can go again to purchase and invest in themselves and all that good stuff.
Yeah, join us on November 16th. The website is entrepreneurreset.net. That's entrepreneurreset.net. Join. We got Coach Walter over there, so you get that coaching and mentoring as well. As a part of that group accountability. And then there's always an option to work with us individually as well. So entrepreneurreset.net.
Gotcha.
Yeah, pull up on us.
Gotcha. Well, tell the folks where they can follow you on social media, all that social media, websites, anything that they need to connect with you. Tell us how they can do that. Walter, where can they find you?
For me, Instagram, WaltWill06. So that's WaltWill06 on Instagram. On LinkedIn, it's my full name, Walter Williams. You'll see me smiling with a picture and a tie on LinkedIn. Or you can feel free to hit me on my website, Think and Grow LLC. That's all one word, thinkandgrowllc.com. There's an option to send me an email or to come directly to me, and I'll be happy to follow up. But more excited for folks to pull up to the room and meet me in person. There's something about that in-person energy that's magnetic. So I hope folks will be able to join us.
Got it. Walter, before you go, because I know are you a LCSW?
LPC.
Okay. So they have, there's a website. It's called blacktherapy.com.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you've heard of it. It's run by Charlemagne the God's Mental Health Alliance. Mm-hmm. And they need therapists to assist some of their potential, patients. So think about that, because we do offer free therapy for the station, and it's through Black Therapy. blacktherapy.org. SHAWNTA Jackson, tell the people where they can find you. I see all your stuff here, so we're going to put that on the screen as well.
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram at @SHAWNTA Jackson, and that's also my YouTube channel at @SHAWNTA Jackson. My website is SHAWNTAJackson.com, and if you want to connect with me on LinkedIn, it's SHAWNTA Jackson MPH.
Got it.
And always, there's always entrepreneurreset.net. Our information is there too.
Perfect. Well, look, I'm excited about your Entrepreneur Reset this November 16th. And I think it's going to be a great time. I'm excited for, everyone who's able to attend. Those of you who, need to buy either it's a half a day session, your full session, whatever it is, website is on the screen. And we will go for there. We'll be posting it on our website, our social media sites as well. So you can go ahead and just click the links there and go ahead and book. Yeah. Thank y'all for hanging out with me.
Of course. Thanks for having us. And if I can say one thing, if people are worried for the financial burden because of the economy, just reach out to us. We're happy to accommodate and consider. So we don't want that to be a barrier for folks. So just hit us up. We'd be happy to chat with you and accommodate.
All right. Sounds good to me. All right, y'all. Look, thank you so much for hanging out with us right here on Hotlyte on hot7025fm.com. It's time for us to get to it. Listen, up next, we got Talk is Cheap, 4 p.m. with Just Kwani. And then we have Levels of Intimacy with Connie. She is going to drop some for sure jewels. So don't forget to tune in. Stay locked in right here on hot7025fm.com. We'll see y'all.
Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot702.5fm.com.